For loops are like so important and we're going to be using them so much. I wanted to dedicate another video, another slot of time for them. Um, as I said last time, for loops are user controlled for loops or they're are user controlled loops. All right. They're numeric, right? You set values for them. I think this program is actually pretty decent. And I want you to take a look at this too. Um, this is a very short program, but I have commented it properly. I'm still trying to impress on you how to comment. I think when I do these videos, I think they distract you from actually looking at it. But take a look at this. Um, what I've got here, I would say this is the bare minimum for commenting. All right, let's talk about what this one is. All right, I've got two numbers. I've got a minimum number, which is this min number, and a max number. All right, I am going to square every number in between those two. All right, if my min number was 5 and my max number was 10, I would square, let's see how I've got this written. I want to take a look real quick. Yeah, I would square 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So I take in a number. I ask the user to enter a min number. I let them pick out the min number. Then I and then I let them pick out the max. That takes us up to here. All right. Nothing fancy here. I did something to do what I'll keep pointing out. Every so often I'll put in these backslash ends. Remember, they work the same as an end line. All right. So I've taken in the two numbers. All right. Display the table. Okay, I want to put out a title, number squared. All right. So because this is going to print out the number squared. Right. So let's go through the main thing. Part of this is the for loop. All right. First, I start out whatever was entered as min number, right, is going to be, I'm going to use that as my num. And as long as num is less than or equal to max number, it's going to do everything inside the for loop, which is just one line, right? If it's just one line, you don't even need to do brackets around it. This line, this cout line here, right, is attached to this for loop, right? So, and then at the end of every for loop, I've got it where it's going to increment num. So let's use my example before. I see in, I ask the user and they see in 5 and 10, max and min. So here, min number is 5. While 5 is less than max number, 5 is less than 10, it prints this out and it will square the 5. And it keeps doing that it keeps going through this for loop and comparing it each time all the way up to 10. All right. It keeps incremented and it gets up to 10. 10 is less than or equal to max number. Then it'll cout the num and its square. I put a couple spaces in between it. Again, since we only saw this last Thursday, remember, this is to initialize, right? This is the condition that's going to be met, and this is the increment. And remember, this could be decrement too. A for loop can be either. All right, that tells you everything that's going to happen in of the code that's coming up. In this case, it's just a cout. A lot of times, matter of fact, most of the times it's going to be in brackets, and many things are going to happen. All right, let's go ahead and run this. All right. I'm going to pick some larger numbers for this. Let's pick starting number. I'm going to start at things that most people don't intuitively know as far as squares. 19 And we're going to do this all the way up to 31, right? This is going to square all the numbers between 19 and 31. Okay. 19 squared is 361. 20 squared, I think most of you know that, is 400. 25 squared is 625. Some of you might know that. 30 squared is 900. Some of these are kind of common, but that's how a for loop works. It's totally controlled by the numbers you put in. 19 to 31, it'll loop through it, and then once it gets to, it'll kick out at 31. All right. I think this is the last we're going to talk about for loops until we get nested for loops. Nested for loops are commonly used in things. If you think about like rows and columns, all right, for loops will work in rows or columns, but it won't work for data that is rows and columns, right? Then you'll need a nested for loop. And the next time we deal with for loops will probably be nested for loops. But please make sure you've got this down. There are questions on the test about for loops because of how important they are.